What does a day without spending a single dollar actually look like? Hi, I'm 25 years old and I'm living on a very tight budget. These days, my entire world has been reduced to this tiny 6 square meter room in the Vietnamese countryside. Today, I want to show you what a completely money free day really looks like for me. It's been a long time since I've slept this well, so today I decided to let myself sleep in until 9 a.m. My room is very small and the window has been covered for a long time, so I can't even see the morning sunlight falling across my bed when I wake up. This room can get unbearably hot during the summer and damp during the rainy season. But I don't really mind. At least I still have a place I can call home, a place I can always come back to. And when I have enough time and money, I hope I can slowly fix it up and turn it into a space that feels more like my own. My mornings here are usually quiet and slow. I like to start the day by spending a little time cleaning and putting things back where they belong. When you live in such a small space, keeping everything tidy is more than just about having a clean room. Somehow, when my surroundings are organized, my mind feels calmer too. It gives me a little more space to breathe, think clearly, and start the day with a better state of mind. I don't mind sharing the less glamorous parts of my everyday life either. This bathroom is much older and more worn out than the ones I've lived with before, and over the years, it has slowly fallen into disrepair. But honestly, I'm still okay with it. This little place has been part of my childhood for as long as I can remember, and somehow that makes its imperfections feel meaningful to me. Maybe old and worn now, but every corner holds a memory, and for me, that's worth much more than having a perfect bathroom. Taking a little time to care for myself always helps me feel refreshed and more like myself. In Vietnam, hair salons are everywhere, and a simple hair wash usually costs only around $2. When I was living in the city, I used to spend quite a bit of money on these services. After long, exhausting days at work, I just wanted to sit back, relax, and let someone else take care of me for a while. I was often too tired to even wash my own hair. But life is different now. I need to be more careful with every dollar I spend, so I'm learning to take care of myself in simpler ways. And honestly, I've realized that self-care doesn't always have to cost money. Sometimes washing my own hair, taking a quiet shower, and giving myself a little time to slow down can feel just as good. This is my old washing machine. It has been with me for many years. It is no longer in perfect condition though. Every time I do the laundry, I have to manually reattach the spinning component to the machine for it to work. It's a bit funny and awkward, but I am truly grateful for it. As long as it keeps working well, it remains a great help to me. I looked at the wallet sitting on the table. There's still some money inside, but honestly, not much. I haven't been able to find a part time job here yet, so for now, I need to be much more careful about how I spend what I have left. So today, I'm setting myself a small challenge. I won't spend a single dollar. I want to see if I can make it through the entire day without touching the money in my wallet. Will I actually be able to keep every dollar right where it is until the end of the day? I guess we'll find out. So stay with me and see how this little challenge goes. Then I had an idea. Maybe the garden behind my house could hold a few unexpected treasures. I honestly don't know what I'll find, but I'm going to make the most of whatever I have around me and do my best to complete this challenge without spending a single cent. I grabbed a basket and headed out into the garden, excited to see what I could find. I started checking every little corner, hoping there might still be something edible hiding among the overgrown plants. The garden hasn't been taken care of for quite a while, so everything has grown wild and messy. I honestly wasn't sure if I would find anything at all, but I kept looking. Hopefully, there's still a little something here that can help me get through this day without spending a single cent. This is a pomelo tree. There are so many rotten fruits scattered around its base because no one has taken care of it for a long time. But luckily, I managed to find one fruit that was still good enough to eat. My dad planted this pomelo tree many years ago, long before I ever imagined I would be back here, living this simple life again. Seeing it still standing in the garden brings back a lot of childhood memories. It feels like a small piece of my past is still here, waiting for me. Right next to the pomelo tree, I found a patch of taro plants. I'm hoping I can harvest a few roots from here, although I'm not entirely sure how much is left. It's actually been a long time since I last ate taro, so I'm quite excited to see what I can find. But just like the pomelo tree, these plants haven't been cared for in a long time. The roots I found are much smaller than I expected, but honestly, I'm still happy to have found something. When you're trying to get through a day without spending any money, even the smallest harvest can feel like a little gift from your own backyard. Today really does feel like a lucky day for me. With these taro roots, I'm pretty sure I won't go hungry today. They may be small and far from perfect, but right now they feel like a little gift from the garden. And honestly, when you're trying to get through an entire day without spending a single dollar, even a few small roots can feel like a big win. I didn't even realize there was a lime tree growing out here in the garden. I honestly can't remember when it was planted, and it's strange how there are some things from our past that we quietly forget without even realizing it. Oh no, I'm still as clumsy and careless as ever. The ground was really soft, and before I knew it, I slipped and fell. Luckily, I wasn't hurt. I just ended up covered in a little dirt and honestly couldn't help laughing at myself. After that little fall, I unexpectedly came across a small bamboo grove. Looking closer, I noticed there were a few young bamboo shoots growing underneath. I decided to try digging up just one. It wasn't as easy as I thought. The soil was quite firm, and I had to be careful not to damage the shoot. But after a little effort, I finally managed to get one out of the ground. It's not much, but for today's challenge, one bamboo shoot is already another little gift from the garden. Have you ever tried sweet leaf soup? It's a simple and very familiar dish in Vietnamese countryside cooking, and luckily it grows wild right beside my house. I'm going to pick just a handful to make a simple soup for lunch. It may not look like much, but finding fresh greens growing right outside my door feels like another little blessing on a day when I'm trying not to spend a single dollar. My hands are covered in dirt now, and I've got a few little scratches. But honestly, I don't mind. Compared to everything I've managed to find today, those small scratches don't feel like a big deal at all. I'm genuinely happy with what I've collected. What started as a simple challenge to spend $0 has turned into a little adventure around my own backyard. And now, looking at everything in this basket, I'm starting to feel pretty confident that I've got enough for some really good meals today. Time to start cooking. I'll admit I'm still a little clumsy in the kitchen, and things don't always turn out exactly the way I want them to. But I'm slowly learning and getting better with every meal I make. Since I started sharing my journey, I've received so many kind and encouraging messages from all of you. Some of them have honestly meant more to me than you probably realize, especially during this new chapter of my life. So, before I start preparing today's meal, I just want to say thank you for being here, for encouraging me, and for supporting me along the way. It really gives me more motivation to keep going, keep learning, and keep sharing this simple life with you. And just like that, I've made myself a truly $0 meal. There's no meat or fish on the table, and it certainly isn't a fancy meal. But honestly, this is more than enough for me. Everything here came from what I already had around the house, and knowing that I didn't have to spend a single dollar to make it makes this meal feel even more special. Starting over at the 25th of may not always be easy, but I'm slowly realizing that it doesn't have to be impossible either. As long as I keep moving forward, stay patient, and try to become a little better every day, I believe I can build my life again, one small step at a time. For now, I'm going to look for a part time job so I can slowly become more financially independent. At the same time, I want to spend more time taking care of myself and turning this tiny 6 square meter room into a place that truly feels like home. I don't know exactly where this new journey will take me, but for the first time in a long time, I'm not in a hurry to find out. I'll just keep going one day at a time